Hey Troopers, welcome back to a new installment of Toy Trooper. Today we'll be reviewing the Star Wars Mythos Ben Kenobi Desert Nomad statue from Sideshow Collectibles. And as you can see, this sucker is huge. So here's the assembly of the statue. The first piece is the base. As you can see on the bottom, it's numbered. I got 168 out of 1200. On the website, it's saying that the run is 2000 pieces, so I'm not really too sure what's going on. Maybe Sideshow is gonna make some more. I'm not too sure. The bottom of the base is pretty much like a sand environment. I guess it's to simulate Tatooine. And as you can see, there's pegs for the feet. One bad thing is some of the parts is kind of scratched off, so you can see the polystone. But then what's great, kind of okay, is that it's limited to the foot pegs and not the actual base itself. So you can hide it, but I kind of wish that it was fully painted. So let me set this down. The second part is the body. It's this huge, heavy, very heavy piece, and just line up the foot with the pegs and slide them in. It does kind of require a little bit of force, but don't push too hard because you can do some damage because there are those metal pegs. And then also the statue has these small little bands that is not attached or detachable. It's already part of it, so if you grab it wrong, then you can snap that off and you pretty much ruin your day. The second part is the hand. Just like the foot peg, there's a little metal peg right here. You just line it up to the hole in the wrist and you just gently push it in. Don't push too hard or you might damage the polystone or the peg itself. So the first piece we're going to be putting on the backpack is this antenna piece. If you notice, part of Obi-Wan's backpack is the armor that he used to wear in the prequels. So now it just kind of serves not as armor, but just a protective device for his backpack. This little antenna doesn't come with a metal peg. It's actually polystone. So you have to be really careful because polystone is so fragile that it will just snap. So, you just gently force it in, but don't push too hard because, as you can see, it moves around very easily. The next piece we're going to do is the rope and the grappling hook. There's no instruction manual on where these things go, so you kind of have to eyeball these unique shapes and match it up to the back. This one does come with a metal peg, so you just line it up with the hole and just drop it right in. The third part is this weird looking spear. It's supposed to be off of a Tusken Raider, so most likely Obi-Wan picked this up during his travels in the desert. And this slides in on the bottom slot. I recommend that you put this spear in first before the next step because it makes your job much easier. So what we have here is a Tusken Raider cycler rifle, and this goes on the back. The shoulder butt goes on top, and just like the rest, you just slide it right in, and there you go. The next two pieces we're going to be attaching is Obi-Wan's two lightsabers that he carries. In the production photos that Sideshow released, there was one lightsaber that hangs off the front of his belt, but this one actually hangs off the back, and there's two of them. And as you can see, there's two little holes, and you just plug them in. One of them is supposed to be Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber, and the other one is Anakin's lightsaber that he keeps and holds so they could give it to Luke. And there you go. The next piece that we're going to be attaching is these goggles. Of course, Obi-Wan needs these when he's, traveling in Tatooine because all the dust storms and stuff. These are very fragile. They are polystone as well. And there is no real metal peg. And there's little slits on the side around the collar. So just be really careful. They do bend a little bit, but you don't want to risk it and snap these in half, because there's, it kind of ties in the whole thing, and if you do break it, you're going to end up with two little holes on the side that you can't really do anything with. The last piece is the head. As you can see, this is the Alec Guinness facial sculpt. And what's cool is these don't need a peg. It has a little magnet inside in here and on the base of this head. So you just take it up, slides right in, holds in place. The Mythos Obi-Wan Kenobi comes with two interchangeable parts. First up is the hand. Go ahead and remove the original hand. Be very careful. You do not want to break off this little peg inside that hole, because you pretty much ruined everything. The other interchangeable hand is this one. It's pretty much Obi-Wan's hand holding his blue lightsaber. One kind of cool thing is that it's translucent, but because it's already attached to the base of the lightsaber, if you drop this and it breaks off, you kind of lost a big part of the statue. So be really careful. If you're not going to use it, store it away very carefully inside the box. Just like the other hand, line up the peg to the hole, push it in, and there you go. I actually like this hand better because it kind of gives it a little bit more of an action pose. Kind of looks like Obi-Wan's about to strike down a Tusken Raider somewhere in the desert. The second interchangeable accessory is the head. As you can see, this is the Alec Guinness head from the original trilogy. You could pop this one out. Like I told you before, it's magnet, so you just need to put a little bit of force to it. And the other head is this Ewan McGregor head from the prequels. And just like the other one, it's magnetic. But the different thing about this one is that if you noticed, the positioning of the head to the neck is different. So while Alec Guinness's head is facing to his left, Ewan is looking to the right. One thing I do kind of think is weird is, while the Alec Guinness head sculpt is spot on, the Ewan McGregor doesn't really look like him. His beard and his hair looks pretty awesome, but the face doesn't seem right. It kind of looks like a Ewan McGregor / Alec Guinness hybrid looking face. So I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but it definitely doesn't look like Ewan McGregor too much, but it looks still awesome as is. So here he is, guys, fully assembled, and I have to say this is probably one of the best Obi-Wan, or maybe even the best Star Wars statue I've ever seen made. There's a lot of these, various Star Wars statues on the market, but nothing comes close to the amount of detail that Sideshow applied to this Mythos Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just from the texturing to all the little detail to all the paint application, it's just a lot of love went into this statue. It's obvious that if you checked out the original Darth Maul Mythos statue and then followed up by this, Sideshow is really making an effort to make some of the best Star Wars statues in the market. And I have to say that I feel like I'm being spoiled by this one, because I can't imagine another Obi-Wan Kenobi statue being better than this one. Sideshow has this statue priced at $350, and it's worth every penny. They are still taking pre-orders, and they just started releasing them. So if you have the money for it and you really want a new Star Wars statue, this is the one to get. I'm more of a Sith Stormtrooper collector, but Obi-Wan is definitely one of my favorite characters from the Star Wars universe. So when this thing first came out, I couldn't wait to jump on it, and I have to say, this is even better than I thought it was going to be. So my recommendation, get it. It'll be a worthy investment. It would just, draw people's eyes that come by to your house and check out your collection. This is one of those unique statues that every Star Wars fan needs to have in their collection. So that's my recommendation, guys. Pick it up. And until next time, thanks for watching my review. Take care.